Greetings, amazing boys and girls, and welcome to Storytime with Avant-garde Books. I hope each and every you is having a great day. I am now going to finish the fourth part of Charlotte in Paris. This book was written by Joan MacPhail Knight, and the illustrations are by Melissa Sweet. Well, if you have a copy, you know what to do. You can read along with me, but if you don't, it's quite okay. Just make sure you're in a very comfortable place and you're relaxed, so you can listen to Charlotte in Paris. November 8, 1893, Vin Rue Chaffet, Paris. Never had I such a birthday or such presents. A beautiful French doll from Mama, and from Papa a little easel of my very own, and a set of pastels, sticks of color that break easily if I'm not careful. Toby gave me a box of those chocolate mice I like so much. Then we were off to the the Fernando Circus. There were dancing bears and dogs in pantaloons playing the drums. I liked the tightrope walker in her sparkling costume best of all. After, we met the Fosters at the Eiffel Tower. There is a lot more inside that tower than I ever knew. It has restaurants, a theater, even a weather station up top to measure how hard the wind blows. Not only that, Monsieur Gustave Eiffel, the man who designed the tower, built himself an apartment in it, way up high, so he can look over Paris at night, I bet. When the gas lamps come on, they twinkle like stars all over the city. No wonder Paris is called the City of Light. At dinner, I opened Lizzie's presents, a tiny Eiffel Tower and a new journal. When the waiter brought my birthday cake to the table, it had Vive Charlotte written across it. Bravo, Monsieur Eiffel, for your beautiful tower and everything in it. November 15, 1893, Vin Rue Chaffet, Paris. After learning about the Académie Julienne from Mr. Prendergast, Papa decided to study there too, and today he let me go to class with him. The classroom was hot and noisy, crowded too. The model posed a long time without moving a muscle. While Papa worked at his easel, I made a small drawing of her to put in the blue frame I bought at the flea market. After class, students scraped the paint off their palettes by rubbing them against the walls. I never saw that before. Later, Mama took me to a store called Degas. There were animals for sale everywhere, lions and tigers, ostriches, even a polar bear. They all looked real, but Mama said they were stuffed. She went off to find feathers while I looked at the butterfly collections. You can buy anything in Paris. Now Mama is making a mask out of the plume de paillon, peacock feathers. Monsieur Jerome, who has the studio next to Papa's, is giving a fancy dress party right there in his studio. Lizzie and I can't go. It's for grown-ups only. Quel dommage. What a shame. November 30th, 1893, Vin Rue Chaffet, Paris. Tonight is the fancy dress party. Mama looked beautiful in her mask of peacock feathers with violet satin ribbons, and Papa very dashing in a mask he painted himself. After Raymond and I had supper, Lizzie came over to play cards. When I opened the door to let her in, Toby ran out. We chased him down the hall into Monsieur Jerome's studio. At first, nobody saw us. They were all too busy talking and eating. Suddenly, Toby barked at one of the guests, a monkey in a silk top hat. The monkey leapt from his little chair onto a man's head, chattering loudly. I was afraid Mama would be angry, but everybody laughed, and so did she. Monsieur Jerome said we were just in time for dessert. Boule de neige, snowballs made of meringue. Later, he told me the monkey, whose name is Jacques, wears the top hat when he is good. When he is bad, he is dressed like a ragamuffin. I'd like to see that too. December 1st, 1893, Vin Rue Chaffet, Paris. This afternoon, I went to Papa's studio to take him some tea. He was staring at the landscape he started in Giverny. He must have been thinking very hard. He scarcely saw me or the tea. I set up my easel. Onto my palette, I squeezed the colors of summer. I made a painting out of our garden in Giverny. Mama's roses were in bloom. The hydrangeas were puffs of blue. Tonight is a cold, starry night, with some snow piled everywhere. Papa hailed a sleigh to take us to dinner, and we glided along the quiet streets. When we got to the restaurant, we were greeted by Monsieur le Patron, the owner. "Oh la la," he said, "this is nothing like the blizzard of 1880. There was so much snow that they had to shovel it onto carts and empty it into the Seine River." La River Seine. At dinner, Monsieur de Ronruel and Papa spoke quietly until dessert came. I could not hear what they were saying. December 2nd, 1893, 20 Rue Chaffet, Paris. At breakfast this morning, Papa put his teacup down and said that after Christmas we'd be back in Giverny. When I asked why, he told me he is not a figure painter or a painter of city scenes. He is a landscape painter, and so Giverny, with its river valley and soft changing light, suits him better than Paris. And anyway, there are too many distractions in Paris, too many things to see and do. At first I was sad because we have not seen and done them all, but Mama promised we will visit again, and she told Papa that he changes his mind as often as Parisian ladies change hats. Then she took me Christmas shopping. We got Toby a collar with a silver bell, and Raymond a cookbook called Pot au Feu. She saw Monet's cook reading it and wants a copy for herself. We found a fur hat for Papa for when he paints outdoors on cold days, and a tablier, an apron for Monsieur Sorel, with pockets for gloves and gardening tools. I can't wait to see him again, and my garden. And for Lizzie, a travel journal bound in leather with other trips we'll take together. Only 12 days until Christmas. Christmas Eve, 1893, 20 Rue Chaffet, Paris. Papa said we would have a réveillon, Christmas Eve dinner, in the shadow of Notre Dame. And we did. From the restaurant window, we looked right up at the cathedral. The gargoyles were covered in snow, but we could see their scary faces. Later, when the cathedral bells rang, it was so loud we had to cover our ears. When we got home, Raymond had made a special Christmas dessert called croquembouche, which means crunch in the mouth. It was a tower of cream puffs, crunchy on the outside and soft inside, held together by spun sugar. Lizzie and I had to stand on stairs to reach the cream puffs at the very top. Then we sat by the Christmas tree, and I told Lizzie all about winter nights in Giverny, about bonfires and skating on the River Epte, and sleigh races across the frozen marsh. Now it's time to sleep so Santa Claus can visit. I hope he knows we're spending Christmas in an apartment in Paris this year. I bet he does. Joyeux Noël, Père Noël. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Christmas Day, 1893. Santa drank the champagne we left for him and ate the last of the cream puffs. He brought me a new pair of ice skates. I wanted some so badly, and a pair for Lizzie. We'll skate together on the Epte. The same, too, if it freezes over. All right, boys and girls, we're going to stop here, and I think I'm going to have to read one more part. Yeah, there's still a little bit more, but this is part 4 of the book Charlotte in Paris, written by Joan MacPhail Knight, and the illustrations are by Melissa Sweet. Well, I hope you're enjoying this story, boys and girls. Have a great day, and don't forget to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Bye-bye.